mini series ini kita akan lakukan. Yang ini kali ini yang kedua, dan yang pertama sudah kita terapkan minggu lalu. Jojo as a presenter, thank you very much. Dia kompeten dalam hal golf of rules. Nah, kali ini juga dia akan membawakan, dipandu oleh Om Gian yang menjadi moderator. Saya harap acara ini dapat berjalan dengan baik. Saya serahkan semuanya ke Pak Gian, silakan Pak Gian.
Ya, selamat pagi semuanya. Selamat datang di PPKM Golf Rules Series nomor 2. Hari ini bahasan kita lebih ke fokus ke course boundary, lost ball, dan out of bounds. Nanti Jojo juga akan menjelaskan sedikit mengenai identifying ball. Ya, course, lost ball, known and virtually centered complex. Oke, Jo. Silakan aja.
Hi, thank you, Gian. And as what he said, this is course boundaries, lost ball, and a final topic which will be related to lost ball, and that is known or virtually certain. If you have any questions, you could just unmute or just type it down later, and we will have a Q&A after we finish. So let's start with the very first topic, which is at the top. It is course boundaries. Now, what is a course boundary? So when we play golf, the golf course has boundaries that are set by the committee. For an example, behind the writing is a forest, and this forest is already part of the course boundary. Areas not on the golf course, like this forest, is out of bounds.
Jadi Om langsung potong aja juga ya. Course boundary ini bahasa Indonesianya batas lapangan ya, kalau nggak salah. Jadi batas lapangan itu selalu di set up di lapangan golf oleh panitia pertandingan atau pengelola lapangan golf tersebut. Nah, bagian-bagian lapangan yang bukan bagian dari lapangan itu adalah bagian yang disebut out of bounds atau di luar lapangan. Hijau.
Yes, that is correct. So we have a diagram of a virtual golf course here from the top. We have, starting down the left, we have a teeing area, and then we have the fairway, and then we have the putting green. Last week we were discussing about penalty areas. Hopefully the people last week still remember what a penalty area is. But today we are focusing on the course boundary, which with the blue arrow shown there, it's the out of bounds section. Out of bounds is outside the boundary. The boundary today is what we're discussing. So there are a few ways the committee can determine a course boundary. The first way, and the most common way, being a white stake or lines shown on the screen there. The second way is other things. Anything can be defined as a course boundary. For an example, in Pangkalan Jati, since we play Pangkalan Jati quite often, we have walls as a course boundary. If your ball goes beyond the wall, it's out of bounds, right? And then if we watch the Open Championship, they have fences, like some metal fences. Now those fences can also be defined out of bounds, beyond the fence. They are defined as a boundary. Or it could be anything and anywhere. What that means is, for an example, if you've played Damainda, pick before, and you've played hole 1, you know that the driving range on the right side of the tee box, that's actually out of bounds. Now you might think that's still part of the golf course, right? But the committee can define anything out of bounds as long as they mark it. So that's why it can be anything or anywhere. And by the rules, we're also not supposed to list everything because you have to know, and specifically in that tournament.
Jadi batas lapangan itu biasanya ditandai oleh patok putih atau garis putih. Nah, kebanyakan di Indonesia pastinya lebih banyak sih patok putih ya. Atau
Yes.
di beberapa kasus juga seperti contoh yang diberikan Jojo di sini adalah dinding. Hall 1 dan 16 Pangkalan Jati atau pagar-pagar yang ada di apa namanya di samping-samping lapangan. Nah, yang jelas untuk kita tahu batas-batasnya ini yang mana, sekali lagi ditekankan bahwa pentingnya membaca terms of competition, local rules ya sebelum bertanding atau sebelum bermain. Jadi kita tahu mana batas-batasnya yang diberlakukan oleh panitia. Itu aja. Terima kasih. Next, Jo.
Yes, thank you, Gian. Now, it's easy when your ball is way beyond the boundary. Like for an example, if the boundary is a wall and your ball is outside the wall, it's definitely out of bounds. Now, what if your ball is near the boundary? In this case, on the left, we have stakes. Now we have 4 balls here, 2 of which are out of bounds and 2 of which are in bounds. So how do we know the exact line, because stakes don't have a line, right? Well, the line or the boundary on a stake is on the inside edge of the golf course, shown on this dark green line here. Now, any part of the ball that is still on the golf course, which is on the green side, that means that ball is still in bounds. The ball has to be completely out of bounds to be considered out of bounds. Now, it is easier if we have a line. If your ball is completely on the line, like shown on this one here, I hope you can see my mouse. This ball is completely on the line, and that means this ball is already out of bounds. If your ball is still touching the golf course, in this case it's the green colored bit as shown on this ball, that means your ball is still in bounds. Your ball has to be completely out of bounds to be out of bounds, and if it's a stake like here, the boundary starts on the inside edge of the golf course. And
nah, jadi udah jelas ya, ini ada ilustrasi di mana kita bisa menentukan posisi bolanya itu out of bounds atau in bounds. Kalau patok, Jo, tolong Jo kursornya. Kalau patok, batasnya adalah bagian dalam dari patok tersebut yang masih berada di lapangan. Jadi kalau bola masih menyentuh bagian dari lapangan, bolanya dianggap masih masuk lapangan, masih inbound. Sementara jika keseluruhan bola berada di apa namanya, kalau contoh yang di kanannya ada garis putih, itu pasti berarti sudah keluar. Jadi prinsipnya selama bola masih berada di apa namanya bagian lapangan, contoh hijau ini lapangan, itu berarti bolanya masih inbound. Sementara kalau udah di luar itu bolanya sudah out of bounds. Oke, ada pertanyaan? Clear? Next, Jo.
Alright, thank you. So, what happens if we hit a shot and we think it might be out of bounds? Well, the very first thing that you should do is hit a provisional ball. Now, what is a provisional ball? A provisional ball is an additional ball that you put not in play yet, but to save time, like what this says in bold, save time, you can play another ball so that you don't have to walk back. Now, why I say walk back, it's because later we will discuss there's only one relief, and that is stroke and distance. Now, but here I want to emphasize on provisional ball that when you are hitting a provisional ball, before you hit it, you have to clearly announce or indicate that you are going to play a provisional ball. Let's get here. You must use the word provisional or indicate clearly that you are going to play a provisional ball. If you do not announce clearly, let me mute first, there we go. Now, if you do not announce this clearly, announce your provisional ball clearly, your ball that you just put as the provisional is now your ball in play. So be careful, because if we hit it somewhere near the OB, we're usually kind of mad, or we could be sad. You might be crying. I don't know you. But don't let your emotions make you not say, I'm hitting a provisional ball. You have to declare very clearly that this ball is a provisional ball, not a new ball in play. Because if you don't announce this, that ball, even if you find your original ball, that new ball that you just hit is now your new ball, and you just got penalty stroke and distance.
Ya, nah agak panjang tuh ya, ada mungkin ini. Jadi Om coba sederhanakan dengan bahasa Indonesia. Pada saat kita setelah memukul bola, itu kurang lebih bola kita kemungkinan berada di luar lapangan, ya. Kita belum tahu tuh bolanya berada di luar atau enggak. Kalau sudah ada kemungkinan, akan sebaiknya kita memukul yang namanya provisional ball. Provisional ball itu bola alternatif. Jangan sampai, karena kalau kita nggak pukul, kita maju ke depan dan kita lihat bola kita di luar, itu kita kan mesti mundur lagi. Itu kan makan waktu. Itu akan menghambat pertandingan. Nah, jadi sebaiknya kita, kalau masih ada 50-50 chance bola kita antara out of bounds atau inbounds, kita pukullah bola profesional. Nah, untuk pukul bola profesional, kalian harus declare dan harus pakai kata, saya mau pukul profesional ball ya, gitu. Kasih tahu ke teman-temannya, playing partnernya. Karena kalau tidak diumumkan, kalian tidak bilang, bola yang kalian pukul berikutnya itu sudah langsung menjadi bola kalian yang dalam permainan. Nah, itu kan rugi. Berarti kalau bola kalian bola pertama yang suspek OB itu, yang kemungkinan OB itu ternyata ada dan bisa dipukul, tidak OB, tapi kalian nggak declare professional ball yang kedua, professional ballnya, justru kalian harus continue dengan pukulan bola yang kedua tadi, gitu. Kalau tidak dideclare sebagai profesional. Nah, apa yang terjadi kalau bolanya ketemu dan tidak OB? Walaupun sudah ada bola profesional, nah kalian boleh lanjutkan permainan dengan bola yang pertama itu. Makanya penting itu. Saya mau pukul ya profesional, kasih tahu ke playing partner.
Nah, ini penting nih buat Dev nih. Jadi kalau bola ke sana, Dev, jangan nangis dulu, Dev, ya.
Nah.
Dulu, ntar nangis susah nanti baliknya lagi.
Gitu, harus mulai dibiasakan tuh begitu tuh main ya. Jadi biar pertama tidak menghambat waktu pertandingan, juga untuk mempercepat lah, itu aja. Oke, Jo.
So he was talking about why you have to hit a provisional ball. If your ball is out of bounds, you are only allowed penalty relief under stroke and distance. That's the walking back to your previous shot relief. That's why you should better hit a provisional ball if it might be out of bounds, so you don't have to walk back. Save you energy, save you time, everyone's happy. What you cannot do if your ball is out of bounds, even if you find your ball, you cannot play your ball because your ball is already not on the golf course anymore. So even if you find your ball out of bounds, you cannot play it because it's already out of the golf course. It's gone. You can pick it up, like it's worth some money, but you cannot hit it. I think we'll go straight to explaining stroke and distance. On the left, we have the official definition of stroke and distance. You can screenshot this later or now, but we will explain it with a simple illustration. So this is Pangkalan Jati, hole 16. If anyone knows what's on the right of hole 16, you can type in chat. It's a cemetery. Now, the cemetery is walled off with a stone wall, and that wall is not declared, but is defined as out of bounds. And the wall here is this white line down the right, and the dark green is the cemetery. So let's say somebody, I'm not going to name a name, but hits his or her ball like that. and it ended up in the cemetery. The cemetery is out of bounds. Let's say this person doesn't know his ball is out of bounds. The first thing that this person should do is hit a provisional ball, because it might be out of bounds, right? Or if you do know provisional ball, which in this case we're not talking about the provisional ball, we're talking about the relief, and we know that this ball is out of bounds. So shot 1, the person hits it OB, as this gray thing here, this gray round ball, is his first shot. It's OB. Now we're using this analogy because this is how you're supposed to count shots. Shot 2, or what should have been shot 2, doesn't exist because you got the first bit of stroke and distance is stroke. You lose 1 stroke as a penalty. So you receive 1 penalty which should have been your shot 2. So now what do? You have shot 3, which is re-hit. This is the distance part. You cannot drop it here where your ball went into the OB. You have to come back to your previous shot and re-hit that shot from your previous position. And to count this, simplify it, the next shot, which in this case will be this putt, which is about, let's say, 5 meters away from the hole on the top of your screen, this will be your 4th shot. Now, I'm doing this really slowly, and I would like to make sure everyone understands this, because up to now, this is always a common misunderstanding of golf rules. So we'll get Pak Gian on, and I will leave this screen here.
Ya, jadi kalau ini contohnya hole 16 Pangkalan Jati. Di sebelah kanan itu adalah kuburan ya, ada garis putihnya. Di sebelah kanannya ini yang hijaunya lebih tua, itu kuburan. Nah, kalau seseorang pukul bola dari tee box, bolanya slice ke kanan, ini kan berarti bolanya udah OB. Nah, itu berarti pukulan pertama tadi sudah OB. Nah, yang harus dia lakukan adalah pukul kembali kan, di tempat semula. Nah, pukulan berikutnya itu adalah dianggap sebagai pukulan ketiganya, karena 1 shot penalty dan re-hit. Jadi langsung jadi dicamkan ya, pukulan kedua, pukulan kembali mukul adalah di tempat asal adalah pukulan pertama ditambah 1 dan ditambah 1 lagi gitu ya, 1 shot penalty. Karena kan kalian udah mukul 2 kali, jadi tambah 1 lagi. Itu aja sih analogi gampangnya. Nah, kalau contoh di sini dia langsung on di green, sehingga puttingnya adalah pukulan keempat. Gitu.
So is that clear, everyone? OB is not 2 penalties. OB is
bukan
1 penalty.
One penalty.
But you come back.
Yeah. Okay.
You can take a photo of this if you would like to. With the next shot, which is the putt, a lot of people think, oh jadi sekarang ini pukulan keberapa? Well, the next shot will be your 4th shot. In this case, it's a putt.
Artinya jadi pukulan keempat.
Ya. Kalau ini masuk, dia dapat apa?
Dapat bogey lah.
Yes.
Par 3 kan?
Yes. Yeah, now we can continue. Hopefully everyone understands this, because the quiz will be a lot about this. Now, lost ball. A ball is deemed lost if not found in 3 minutes after the player or his or her caddy begins to search for it. And on the right, we have somebody in Pangkalan Jati also, and this is usually our feeling if we lose our ball, right? We are down, we are sad, but don't be sad. It's fine. So let's clarify. The maximum time to search for a ball is 3 minutes, beginning when the player or caddy starts searching the area. The ball that you are searching for is deemed lost once not found after 3 minutes. So if it's 3 minutes and 1 second after 3 minutes, so 3:01, that's already lost. Now, what does lost mean? Lost means you cannot play that ball. That ball is no longer in play. Even if you find it after 3 minutes, let's say you were walking back because you didn't hit a provisional ball, you were not a responsible player. You're walking back and you found your ball. Oh, ni ketemu. Well, it's already past 3 minutes. Very sorry, that ball is no longer in play. So, Pak Yan, I will come
Jadi
back to
ini
this one.
diingatkan lagi, lost ball itu bola dianggap hilang jika pemain dan atau caddy-nya sudah mencari selama 3 menit dan bolanya tidak ditemukan. Jadi bolanya dianggap hilang, bolanya tidak in play lagi. Ya. Waktu 3 menit itu kapan mulainya? Mulainya dihitung dari sejak player atau caddy-nya mencari bola tersebut di daerah yang ya kemungkinan tempat bola itu ada gitu ya. 3 menit cari nggak ketemu. 3 menit ya udah balik ke belakang karena nggak pukul ke professional ball, balik lagi ke belakang. Sambil jalan ke belakang lihat ini ada nih bolanya. Tapi ingat sudah lewat dari 3 menit. Jadi bola itu sudah tidak boleh dimainkan, tetap kena stroke and distance penalty-nya. Itu.
Yes, thank you. Now we will define lost ball clearly. So, here we go. We'll do this first. So if you think your ball might be lost, please hit a provisional ball. Now, I didn't put this here, but we'll use this slide as I'm talking. So, a ball is lost if it is not found in 3 minutes after the player or his or her caddy begins to search for it in the general area.
Nah.
I forgot to put this in. I don't know how I forgot. Tapi ball is lost if it is not found in the general area. Not in a penalty area, not out of bounds, in the general area. After the 3 minutes of search. Now, here's the provisional ball definition. If anyone forgot to take a photo before, you can take a photo now. Or Google it later. This was just copy-paste from the rules book. Now, if you found a ball, let's say you found a ball in the forest of Rawamangun. You're playing Rawamangun and you found your ball in the forest. A ball, not your ball yet. You have to identify that ball to see if that ball is your ball or not. A player's ball at rest may be identified in any one of these ways. So one of these ways is enough to identify your ball. The first way is if you or someone else knows that's your ball that's stopped over there. It's known to be the player's ball. The second way is to see your identifying mark on your ball. If you find a ball and it matches the identifying mark, which we will discuss shortly after this, then it's your ball. Or the third way is a bit complicated and it's not a reliable way, is to find a ball with the same brand, model number, and condition as the player's ball in an area where the player's ball is expected to be. What that means is you find a ball that you think or you and your caddy thinks it's yours. But this does not apply if an identical ball that is similar or if the other players don't know that that's your ball. So this is why we emphasize before we start teeing off on show your ball to your playing partners. Right before we start teeing off. On the first tee, we switch scorecards and the starter will say, declare your ball. And then we will show your ball to your playing partner. Because your ball is your ball if you can prove it is yours. Now, you can't just say this is my ball without any proof, which is why here I made it bold here, the identifying mark. I would suggest everybody listening here if you're playing to put an identifying mark on your ball, because this is the easiest way to make sure that if you find a ball and it is yours, it's going to be yours. And of course, declare it to your playing partners. An identifying mark is something like a Sharpie dot or a line, or maybe you write your name on your ball. That's important because if you are searching for your ball and then you find a ball, you have to prove that's your ball. And the easiest way to prove your ball is with the identifying mark on your ball. So, go ahead, Om Gian.
Jadi pada saat kalian mencari bola, kalian ketemu bola, kalian harus memastikan bahwa bola tersebut adalah bola yang kalian mainkan. Bagaimana cara menentukan hal tersebut? Itu ada 3. Yang paling gampang adalah orang melihat bahwa di area kamu mukul, misalnya Alfa mukul agak ke kanan, tapi penonton dan orang lain atau KD-nya juga tahu bolanya Alfa pasti arahnya ke sana. Jadi begitu ada bola di situ, itu hampir dapat dipastikan itu bolanya Alfa. Atau kalau masih ragu, makanya ini pentingnya kalian pada saat sebelum bertanding menandai, kasih tanda di bolanya tuh, pakai apa namanya, pakai Sharpie model gini, pakai Sharpie, wah nggak kelihatan. Nah ini Sharpie berwarna, kalian gambar atau apa yang kalian tahu, nanti kalian kasih tahu juga ke playing partnernya, ini bola saya tight list 1 ada titiknya merah misalnya gitu, atau ada garisnya, itu punya saya. Itu Dev misalnya bolanya digambar-gambar Hello Kitty gitu misalnya ya, gitu. Nah terus ya, jadi akan sangat penting untuk mengidentifikasi bola pada saat kalian mencari bola, karena kalian tetap prinsipnya harus memainkan bola yang kalian mainkan. Kalau kalian ketemu bola terus sebenarnya bukan bola kalian, itu udah salah itu mainnya. Gitu aja. Jadi makanya penting untuk membiasakan memberikan tanda pada bolanya kalau bertanding.
And before you start teeing off, after you switch your scorecard, tell everyone what's your ball. Show it. Like, let's say I have a ball, I say, okay, here's my ball. It's a Titleist 1 with a black line, let's say. And then someone else, my playing partner would say, oh, okay, here's my ball. I'm using a Bridgestone with a blue dot, like that. Now I know, oh, my playing partner is using a Bridgestone blue dot, and I'm using a Titleist 1 black line. So he knows my ball, I know his ball, and we will be able to identify each other's ball. So, lost ball, if you do lose your ball in the general area, it's the same as an out of bounds rule. You can only take penalty relief under stroke and distance. And you cannot play your ball, even if you found it past the 3-minute search. It's deemed lost after 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes, because it is lost, even if you find it, you cannot play it anymore. We will explain this with another amazing illustration. On the left here, this very weird dark green thing is, let's say this is a bush or a forest. We'll call this a forest in Rawamangun. Forest in Rawamangun is general area because it is unmarked. General area is part of the course that is still part of the course, that is not a penalty area or out of bounds. So anything that is unmarked is still general area. Let's call this a forest, and we are on point X. And from point X, we hit our ball into the forest because we mishit our shot. We were over here on this yellow circle. Now, if we do hit it there, and we think, oh, that's going to be hard to find it, right? Especially we only have 3 minutes to find the ball. I suggest once you hit it there, please hit a provisional ball. It never hurts to hit a provisional ball. It'll only help you. Now, if you don't hit a provisional ball, this is how you count it. Your first shot, which was this shot, and then let's say you didn't find your ball, you hit your ball and it's lost. So the first shot, the shot that went that way, is lost. So automatically your what should have been your next shot doesn't exist because it's a penalty on the first part, that is the stroke. And then the third part is the distance. You have to come back to your previous position to re-hit that shot. That is where stroke and distance comes in. Stroke is the penalty. Let's emphasize this. This is the stroke and this is the distance. You have to come back to your previous position. It's very easy. Stroke is the penalty. Distance is you have to come back. Whereas your ball was here, right? You're losing a ton of distance to walk back and hit from over here. That is why it is called stroke and distance. It means you have to come back to the previous position. And to clarify this, your next shot will be, in this case, it's a putt on the yellow ball that is only a meter away from the hole. That will be your fourth if we were counting this as the first shot. So Gian, go ahead.
Ya. Jadi contohnya di ilustrasi ini kita pukul bola dari titik X, itu yang di kiri hijau-hijau rada aneh itu kita anggap aja sebagai semak-semak ya. Bolanya masuk ke dalam situ. Kita bisa lihat mungkin dari tibok. Nah, untuk mempermudah, kita tahu pertama area semak-semak ini kita anggap di sini diasumsikan sebagai general area. Tidak ada patok khusus yang menyatakan area ini merupakan ground under repair atau kalian bisa dapat free relief. Jadi itu masih general area dan kan biasanya juga di semak-semak kita susah cari bola. Susah mencari lah gitu, agak sulit. Jadi untuk mempermudah permainan, pertama yang harus dilakukan adalah pukul dulu provisional ball-nya dari titik X tadi. Ya, pukul dulu provisional ball, declare provisional ball, pukul. Baru kalian bisa jalan ke depan mencari bola yang pertama selama 3 menit. Nah, pada saat 3 menit sudah lewat atau bola yang pertama hilang, tidak dapat dimainkan lagi, sehingga bola yang kedua provisional ball tadi in play. Nah, berapa pukulan? Tetap pukulan pertama bola dari titik X masuk ke sana. Kan logika gampangnya pukulan berikutnya harus pukulan kedua. Cuma kan kita dapat penalti 1 stroke dan kembali stroke and distance. Jadi pukulan kedua kali di titik X itu dianggap sebagai pukulan ketiga. Dan langsung on di dekat green. Jadi itu sudah pukulan ketiga. Jadi putting adalah pukulan keempat. Itu aja sih gampangnya. Jadi sekali lagi pada saat bola yang mau ditekankan adalah pada saat bola kelihatannya berada di daerah yang ya dalam tanda kutip sulit untuk dicari gitu ya, ada baiknya kalian pukul provisional ball gitu. Untuk balik lagi untuk mempercepat pertandingan.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, I got a question for a little bit. I know that you said that 3 minutes is starting when you and your caddy starting to searching for the ball.
Yes.
Right. So for when you start searching, is there any? I'm sorry. Aren't you supposed to time it, or somebody else should time it, or you just blindly okay 3 minutes? But for some people that your playing partner, 2 or 3 playing partners, some people are like okay lah, if 3 minutes or maybe 5 minutes, you can actually time feeling. But some people are like, hey, there's already above 3 minutes. So how do you supposed to actually do it, or how do you argue with people are like that.
Thank you, Kamar. So that is a very good question. Now, in the actual definition, it is strictly 3 minutes. Now, how do we know 3 minutes? Well, this is why referees have a stopwatch they carry on their neck. When we start searching, we should, in the official term, let's say in a PGA Tour event or in an RNA sanctioned WAGR event, you are actually supposed to time it for 3 minutes. Whether that is you get your phone out and say, okay, I'm gonna start timing. Yeah, let's say we start at 12:05, or you actually get your stopwatch out. But it is strictly a definition of 3 minutes that you are supposed to time if the competition is an actual competition that is following the rules of golf. You are supposed to actually time it 3 minutes. And you can time that with your phone, or with your caddy's phone, or with a playing partner's phone, or with a spectator's phone, as long as we can verify the 3 minutes. Because the 3 minutes has to be verified. Gian, wanna elaborate, or someone?
Nggak usah, Ju.
Okay, so that is it is a bit weird, but that it is how you are supposed to manage the 3 minutes. You better like have your phone, like it's not illegal to open your phone as long as you're declaring what it is that you're doing with your phone. So the 3 minute search, if I would normally take out my phone and say, okay, so we're starting search at, let's say 12:00 dead. Okay, so we'll have enough time to search until 12:03. And usually after 12:03, okay, well, we didn't find it. But in an official competition, if you have a referee, the referee, if he's a good referee and he's still thinking, he should turn on his stopwatch, start, boom. And then he'll be counting 3 minutes with his stopwatch. So 3 minutes is very strictly 3 minutes, and you have to verify the 3 minutes.
Okay, nobody bring out their phone, nobody have their stopwatch, nobody have anything. So what do? We hit 2 balls, or we take the penalty? There's no referee or anything there. Nobody can justify the time. So do we hit 2 balls, or we just play the ball as we found it? Or we play the
Okay.
provisional one?
Okay, that's an interesting one. This is why you're supposed to verify the 3 minutes. So that's technically a wrong procedure because we cannot verify the 3 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rules are rules,
Yeah.
but sometimes reality in the field is actually different. But I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. We've been playing golf for so many times, but I never actually saw a person when they're looking for a ball, somebody take out their phone and actually do for 3 minutes. Usually we just walk and concentrate on our next shot. That's what basically what happened. And then suddenly it's like, I found my ball. Some person said, okay, whatever, that's already past 3 minutes, but okay, whatever, you can hit the ball. But some other person that is actually aggressive and he's like, that's already above 3 minutes. No, the rules say if you're above 3 minutes, meaning that's a lost ball. Even though you found it, that is a lost ball. So if that happened,
Okay, so in that exact case, on exactly what you described just now,
yeah,
if it is a tournament, it is the committee will have to you and the other person opposing the 3 minutes will have to go to the committee and try to state your case, and then prove, and whichever one that can prove it better, which is kind of weird. Like it sort of turns into a debate that is
yeah,
not.
but the committee
Yeah.
will have to be on the end of the game, right? For
Yes.
that time, there's
For
no
that
referee.
exact time.
Yeah,
For
for the no referee, and nobody picking up their phone. So what do we do? Do we hit 2 balls, or we hit the professional balls that we already hit?
Well, if you don't hit 2 balls, then you've essentially decided to go with that ball. And if that ball turns out to be the wrong ball, you're gonna be DQ'd. So you have to play, in this exact case, I would suggest you play the 2 balls. Or it's the safest way to play the provisional ball if you don't feel like arguing with the committee. You can just play the provisional ball and you will not have a chance to be DQ'd. But if your playing partner does end up proving that it was past 3 minutes and you hit that ball, the original ball that you were searching, and you found past 3 minutes, you're gonna be DQ'd because that ball is no longer in play.
All right. So if I so basically there's option where I can hit 2 balls, meaning I can
Yes.
hit the ball where I found it,
Yes.
as long as it's not penalty or OB or anything.
Yes.
And
Nah,
I
berbagai
hit the original ball and I hit the provisional ball. So I have to hit those 2 balls, score it, and then they basically just talk to the committee.
Yes, yeah, that's the best practice if you still feel like arguing with the committee to try to prove that was under 3 minutes. You can still have the chance to prove it, or you can still safely have the provisional ball, right? Because there is a rule, I forgot the number, maybe Om Joner can tell me the rule for playing 2 balls, but you are always allowed to play 2 balls as long as you declare that you're gonna use that rule to play 2 balls.
Okay.
Saya berbagi sedikit, Jo.
Yes, please.
Pengalaman ini ada 2, satu di kompetisi, satu bukan di kompetisi, kira-kira begitu. Pengalaman saya cerita satu tentang kompetisi dulu. Di Master, si Leong dari Malaysia mencari bola 3 menit. Saya lihat dari kejauhan dia mencari bola, saya samperin. Saya pastikan dia sudah berada di bolanya. Saya pastikan dia sudah mulai searching. Saya stopwatch, oke? 10 detik sebelum 3 menit saya sampaikan ke si Leong, pemain Malaysia. Saya sampaikan ke dia bahwa 10 detik lagi akan 3 menit. Begitu saya sebut time is up, karena 3 menit, saya tekan stopwatch dan saya sampaikan ke si Leong agar melakukan stroke in distance. Oke, dia setuju, dia naik kart saya. Begitu dia mau naik kart saya, ketemu bola di bawah pohon. Karena kena pohon, balik dia menuju kart saya, ketemu bolanya. Ini menarik Om Marshall. Ini share buat semua pemain. Nah, jadi si Leong ini tidak menerima bahwa sudah 3 menit. Karena apa? Karena saya sebut 10 detik lagi akan menjadi 3 menit. Dia anggap pada saat 3 menit saya sampaikan, dia bilang 10 detik itu belum. Artinya dia anggap belum 3 menit. Saya tetap sampaikan bahwa Anda harus kembali karena sudah 3 menit, dan saya tunjukkan stopwatch saya. Seperti Jojo bilang, memang harus harus ada proof, ada bukti. Saya sampaikan, dia panggil playing partnernya. Kebetulan salah satu pemain yang menang US Open, siapa saya lupa namanya, Daniel Chopra, dia panggil playing partnernya bahwa Chopra, kamu lihat saya kan belum 3 menit. Begitu referee bilang 10 detik lagi, sebelum 10 detik lagi, on the way ke kart, saya ketemu bolanya. Oke, this is the case. Akhirnya karena dia tidak happy dengan keputusan wasit, keputusan saya, hak saya, bukan hak wasit, bukan haknya player, saya memanggil second opinion. Oke? Saya bukan karena pemain. Saya panggil chief referee, kebetulan Jason Chok dari Malaysia, dia sampaikan kejadiannya. Dan saya tetap bilang apa yang saya lakukan saya sampaikan ke chief referee. Karena saya tidak tahu apa pertimbangan chief referee pada saat itu. Memang bisa saya sampaikan bahwa itu sangat tipis antara 3 menit itu. Saya yakin 3 menit lah baru saya sampaikan. Tapi begitu saya sampaikan 3 menit itulah dia ketemu bolanya. Sehingga keputusan yang diambil oleh chief referee, oke, boleh dia bolanya dipukul lagi, nggak jadi dia stroke and distance. Oke, itulah kejadian kalau ada referee, ada chief referee dan komitinya.
Yes, this is very good, and I will emphasize one more thing before someone wants to add. This is why you should not be afraid to talk to a referee and argue with the referee. You can save strokes. You can ask anything to the referee, and he will be the one that will be answering your questions. So when I was refereeing developments, a ton of juniors don't want to speak. You have to speak. If you don't speak, you got to proceed with what the referee says, because the referee can still call for a second opinion, whether that's the chief referee or the tournament director. So you should be brave to speak to the committee, because that can determine your fate in a tournament.
Very true, Joe. Oke, kalau tidak ada komite, nggak ada referee, tentu rules sudah cukup jelas, seperti Joe sampaikan sudah cukup jelas sebenarnya. Cuman saya mau berbagi saja. 3 menit, oke. Playing partner seperti Pak Marcel bilang, oke, you sudah lebih dari 3 menit. How does he know sudah 3 menit, kan gitu. Kalau dia ada proof, ada dia timing begitu pada search, oke, kita setuju dengan hal itu. Tapi kalau tidak ada, ya integrity, tentu ada integrity virtual virtual certain itu kita bisa, karena pemain berhak berdasarkan peraturan 1.3 pemain berhak menentukan relief area time apakah itu 3 menit, tentu dengan reasonable. Jadi saya rasa tanpa referee pun, karena golf course tanpa referee, komitinya, panitianya cuma ada sedikit, rules sudah cukup mengakomodir, dan tentu perlu di situ integrity. Dari saya dari penjelasan Joe cukup complete, good, and saya rasa dari saya seperti itu, Joe. Terima kasih.
Yes, thank you, Om.
Okay, thank you, Jojo, Om Joner.
Ya, sama-sama.
So everyone get the point. You have to be brave, and you have to be truthful, or you have to have integrity. Brave to talk to the committee, because that can help you. It can always help you. And you have to be truthful, because if the committee still deems it not no, whatever the no is, then it's a no. But the rules are there to help the player also. I see Om Denny has unmuted. Would you like to say something?
No. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, we will continue. My keyboard isn't working. Wait. So we've already shown this. Right. Now, I will make a case about what Joner was saying. Known or virtually certain. On the left is the official definition of known or virtually certain. You can Google that up or screenshot this. This was just copy-paste from the rulebook. Now, on the right is sort of simplified. Now, we're not supposed to simplify rules, but for the case of this webinar, I will simplify it a little bit. If something is known, can be proven, agreed with the playing partner, or approved by the committee, like what Ben Leong did with the chief referee, you can proceed with whatever. That is the known or virtually certain's simplified version. But please, you have to read the actual definition if we're doing an actual tournament. Now, this is a very important phrase, known or virtually certain, because I will demonstrate the importance here. We are on point X down here. Let's read the left bit that I written first. If your ball finished somewhere in the general area, just what Ben Leong did, near a penalty area or relief area, but it is not known or virtually certain that the ball finished in said areas. Said areas means penalty area or free relief. So your ball went somewhere near a penalty area, like on screen. But you don't know, so it's grayed out because we'll imagine in this case we didn't see the ball finish. We only saw it land somewhere on that gray dot. You must proceed by taking relief under lost ball if you cannot find this gray ball and you are not known or virtually certain that the ball went into the penalty area over here. Now, if it is known or virtually certain that the ball finished in set areas, let's say the set area here is the penalty area. If we know the ball ended up here, then you can take relief here and chip it on and maybe save par or whatever. But because in a case where you don't know or you're not even virtually certain that the ball finished into the water, you didn't find it here, then it is declared lost. And you have to walk all the way back to point X and you're losing a stroke and you're losing distance. Now, let's say this is an actual case in a tournament and a junior hit his ball over here. And then the whole group searched this area and didn't find his ball. And then the group is confused. So the group calls a referee. Well, the group means him and the playing partner. Calls a referee. The referee will come and ask, why did you call? Like, we'll ask, what's the situation here? Describe the situation. Now, if you're not talking enough information, the referee will proceed exactly with the rule. So let's say the junior says, oh, I hit my ball over here. Now, we don't know where it ended up, but we hit it here. And then the referee will ask, where did the ball ended up? And then you'll say, we don't know. Okay, by definition of we don't know means it is not known and you didn't even state anything about virtually certain. So we don't know where this ball ended up. And in the case where if you said you don't know, it is declared lost and the referee will take you back on X. You lost distance and you lost the stroke, you've lost your time also. But if the referee comes and you describe your situation clearly, you describe, okay, so we've been searching, but we didn't find the ball. We searched this area, but we didn't find the ball. But because this area is sloped towards the water, we all saw the ball land somewhere here. We are quite sure that the ball ended up into the penalty area because the slope goes that way and we saw it land here. And it is pretty much virtually certain that the ball ended up into the penalty area because we didn't find it on land. In this case, the referee, if it is like reasonable, as what Joner said, if the referee deems this reasonable, which it is reasonable, then the referee will allow you to drop here because it is virtually certain that your ball, and with you trying to prove it, with your reasonable information and proof that your ball landed here and ended up here, then the referee will allow you to drop here. But if you don't speak your case, you just say, oh, I don't know, we searched, we didn't find it, the referee will have to go with the lost ball and you are losing stroke and distance coming back to point X. So, like what Jenner said, don't be afraid to talk to the referee and state, and you must know the importance of virtually certain. It can save you strokes. Okay, Gian want to elaborate, or anybody want to ask a question? That would
Ya,
be great.
itu penting banget tuh barusan yang dijelasin Jojo. Jadi konsep non or virtually certain ini, bahasa Indonesianya apa ya Bang Joner? Non and virtually certain. Aku juga agak lupa. Ya, diketahui dan hampir dapat dipastikan kan?
Hampir dapat dipastikan dalam persentase itu 95%.
95%. Nah, jadi dengan contoh ini, itu makanya jangan lupa kalian juga kalau ditanya sama referee harus bisa menjelaskan dengan baik karena itu akan mempengaruhi keputusan referee yang juga mungkin bisa merugikan atau menguntungkan gitu ya kepada kalian. Jadi contohnya Jojo di sini seorang pemain mukul dari X itu ya. Bolanya jatuh di kanan, diperkirakan jatuh di kanan di general area di sana dan dekat dari situ ada penalty area. Nah, grup maju ke depan mencari bola selama 3 menit ya, terus ada referee. Nah, ditanya deh, bolanya di mana? Gitu kan biasanya, bola di mana? Ada apa? Nah, saya udah cari bola nih, bolanya kira-kira ada di sini Om, gitu ya. Nah, itu akan karena udah dicari dan selama 3 menit dan kalian yakin bahwa bola itu ada di situ, kalian cari. Nah, tapi kalian juga mesti memperhatikan, tapi ini harus diingat, harus jujur ya. Karena ini bukan berarti kalian mentang-mentang ada penalti area di situ bolanya hampir pasti dapat langsung masuk juga, tapi tergantung kontur tanah dan lain sebagainya. Kalau kalian cari bola di situ dan tidak ketemu, pertama kalian bilangnya hanya nyari bola di situ, pasti ditanya sama referee-nya, kira-kira masuk ke dalam penalti area atau enggak. Nah, itu kata jawaban kalian di berikutnya akan cukup menentukan sih sebenarnya. Gimana proses pengambilan keputusan si referee. Apakah kalian kena lost ball, stroke and distance, apakah kalian dapat relief dari penalty area gitu ya, dengan situasi yang kita udah bahas minggu lalu gitu. Itu aja sih sebenarnya. Jadi penting kalian untuk dapat menjelaskan situasi dan kondisi bola yang kalian ketahui dengan pasti ya. Kalian ketahui dengan pasti, jadi bukan ngarang-ngarang gitu ya.
With reasonable information and proof and integrity.
Gitu.
Nah, ini saya mau sebentar aja perkenalkan nih. Ada Pak Edi Putra. Aduh, selamat pagi, selamat siang Pak Edi. Nah, beliau ini yang tadi bagian sempat sounding di awal sebagai Ketua Bidang Peraturan PBPGI. Harusnya beliau ada di Tokyo malah ya harusnya ya. Jadi wasit harusnya sekarang ini. Oke, pernah jadi referee juga di Open kalau nggak salah 2018 ya Pak Edi, 2018 Pak 2019.
Dari 2016 sampai 2019.
Iya. Nah, itu lebih ini. Lalu ada juga Pak Rinaldi kalau nggak salah. Sempat masuk sekarang bagian Ketua Bidang Peraturan dari PGI DKI. Itu aja dari saya. Silakan Jo.
Tadi ada Om Joner, not me. So, Om Joner wanna add something?
Oke, sedikit Jo tentang virtual certain itu seperti di depan tadi rule 1.3 itu pemain berhak menentukan tentu dengan reasonable. Salah satu contoh di Indonesia Open di Pondok Indah di hole 14. Nah, hole 14 ada Furkedi di situ Jo. Jadi si Mika Singh satu grup dengan si Bular. Mika Singh mukul terus Furkedi bilang out of bound. Dia pemain datang sampai ke Furkedi itu, Furkedi bilang bolanya keluar. Oke. Ada referee, tapi pemainnya tidak setuju Jo. Dia tidak setuju apa yang disampaikan oleh Furkedi. Sehingga referee memanggil juga pada saat itu kalau nggak salah chief atau TD, chief Rich. Mereka datang dimintalah klarifikasi, informasi dari pemain dan Burkedi. Si Mika Singh bilang pukulannya mendatar tuh. Mendatar bolanya, sebelah kirinya itu penalti area dan sampingnya lagi out of bound. Terus Mika Singh nanya si bola, "You lihat nggak bola saya tadi dari bolanya seperti apa?" Ya, dia sampaikan bahwa tidak seperti yang 4K disampaikan melambung dan ke out of bound. Sehingga si saya lupa Fritz atau TD atau Chief, namanya Fritz dari Austria, memutuskan bahwa bola itu bukan out of bound, masuk ke penalti area karena informasi yang disampaikan Burkedi yang bola terbang tinggi dan keluar dari area lapangan itu di wave tidak, sehingga bola itu dianggap masuk penalti area dan si Mika Singh akhirnya melanjutkan permainan dengan melakukan rules 17 itu, penalti area. Terima kasih, Jo.
Yes, so the significance of that is the part where Mika Singh was allowed to drop up there. He was, let's go over here and I will clear my drawing. He was allowed to drop in front rather than having to go back to the tee box, because if we were counting as a player, not as a referee, if we were counting, you are going to lose one stroke if you are proceeding with stroke and distance. As a player, as a referee, it doesn't matter because we're here. Referees are there to help you proceed correctly playing the game of golf. Now, Mika Singh was able to drop, well, in this case, let's say there was OB over here. Mika Singh was able to drop here. And he was able to drop up there rather than having to come back to the tee box. And he did that by presenting his case to the committee. He was brave to talk to the committee, unlike some juniors here. And that way he was able to save a stroke or two, right? And that was through known or virtually certain. He presented a case with integrity, with reasonable conclusive evidence, more than just possible or probable. He also got his playing partner to help him out, and it was approved by the committee. And there he benefited from that decision, right? This is why everyone must know what known or virtually certain is, and this is why we're spending quite some time on known or virtually certain. So, anybody have any questions or anybody want to add something?
Next.
Okay, well, next is over.
Oke. Udah selesai itu. Ada pertanyaan? Buat Pak Edi, Pak Joner, Pak Marcel, Pak Rinaldi, kita kasih backgroundnya.
This is a very good
topik by topik aja. Minggu
Yes.
lalu itu kita fokus ke penalti area sama general area. Belum. Penalti area aja malah minggu lalu. Ini kita course boundaries, lost ball, out of bounds, known and virtually certain. Jadi sengaja topiknya nggak mau terlalu banyak sehingga mudah-mudahan bisa lebih gampang diserap ke para junior gitu. Oke, ada pertanyaan?
If there are no questions, we
Alpha,
will go.
kalau nggak ada question langsung ke quiz seperti biasa.
Yes.
Ini
quiz.
yang saya mau kasih masukan nih. Ada hal yang penting tadi Jojo keep mention, ya, brave. Itu keren banget. Ya, tapi brave with the real, the actual
With
Jadi
integrity.
the integrity
Yes.
juga. Ini kan orang bilang selalu golf is gentleman game. It means have to be punya integritas, right? Nah, in order to present, so you have to be brave, harus yakin, and then you have to talk, kan? Itu ya, Jo ya. You have to talk, explain, and jelasin semuanya keadaan. But the most important, you have to know the rules. Benar ya, Jo ya?
Yes, because if you're talking without knowledge of the rules, then you're still gonna have to go with the rule.
Yeah. Jadi kalau satu hari keluar negeri pun juga, you guys have to talk in English. Itu juga one of the most important thing. Everybody have to learn. Ya, silakan.
Boleh ikut tim bro?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. We're talking about players' integrity, right? Since 2019, the ruling body put more emphasis on players' integrity. This is in relation to known and virtually certain. So previously, known and virtually certain is only related to penalty area, which was known as hazard, water hazard. But now almost everything is decided or is judged based on known and virtually certain. From now on, for example, a player moves the ball, if a ball moves, so who moved the ball, how it moves, and things like that, all is decided with the terminology known and virtually certain. So this become a very important terminology that you have to know. That's why it goes back to the player's integrity. The player has to have a set mind. Yeah, when I see, never in doubt. Once you are in doubt, you are off of this known and virtually certain. With regard to virtually certain, it's up to other people, up to the referee to judge and things like that. But if you know, then you have to firm about it. Yeah. If you see the ball goes into the water, don't look beyond the water. Once you look at the ball beyond the water, there's a doubt. There's no certainty there. Yeah. If you say that, I didn't cause the ball to move, it was caused by natural forces. Stated, I don't cause the ball to move, it was caused by the wind. State like that. Don't ever put in doubt, but maybe because I was standing too close to the ball, it could probably cause it to... Jangan berpikir seperti itu. Just confirm, firm. Because otherwise, once you are in doubt, you are opening a can of worm. People will start asking you questions, and then the referee will start doubting your integrity, things like that. So from now on, as a golfer, harus tegas. Ya.
Harus firm.
With integrity.
With integrity, of course.
With integrity.
Yeah, jangan tegas with the intention to cheat, ya.
Yes, that is not correct. Do not cheat.
Jadi rohnya tuh integrity ya, basicnya tuh integrity semua. Ya, toppingnya tuh English, confidence dan lain hal. Okay, this is clear.
From 2019, the ruling body put in figures to make so that we can judge how certain decision is. Tadi kan Om Joner stated about 95%. Why do we have to say 95%? It used to be 85%. Now it's 95%. 90% is almost certain because there's we cannot put 100% because it's basically impossible lah ya. But 90% is almost certain. Ya. Jadi kalau supaya there is a little doubt, that is not 95%. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Edi. Okay, Joe, what's next?
Oh, the next is the quiz. Everybody,
All right, this is cool. We have
everybody,
Pakai
get
Kahoot lagi
ready.
biasa. Bapak-bapak kalau mau ikut silahkan kuisnya buat fun-fun.
pakai Kahoot, ada hadiahnya.
Maybe because this is a ton of people, if the committee, well, in this case, the admin is kind, maybe we can reward 5 people
5
Yeah.
this is
instead
cool, yeah,
of 3.
Okay, 5.
Okay, I will set it up.
Is there
Everybody,
a trial first or no?
yes,
Yeah,
we will do a trial first.
juga kali. Yeah.
Yesterday I also didn't know what is RNA, so yeah.
That will be embarrassing. We have somebody from the RNA here. If somebody doesn't get it right, oh, that's embarrassing. So,
Yeah.
to do the quiz, get your phone, and I will set up the quiz. So, meanwhile, while I set up the quiz, you can get your phone out. Since this is a trial.
Bola.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, you can go just for the trial.
Okay, we will go now.
Ya.
Yeah.
So how this works is questions will appear on the Zoom screen and you will be answering them with your phone. So have your phone on your hand and you will be answering questions on the phone. The question is up there on the Zoom screen and answer it with your phone. We have also limited time, so answer quickly. Okay. We at least we have an improvement. Last week only 6 people got it right. Today we have 22 people who got it
Very good.
right. But
We're
everybody
getting there, Joe.
We're slowly improving. RNA stands for the yellow one, royal and ancient. Not rules and administration of golf. That's a bait question that I put in. Ah, that's me. I don't know who that is, but whoever that is, that's amazing. The podium in
At least it's a trial.
yes, this is a trial, don't worry. Oh no, we'll skip this part. Yay! Okay, I won't win in the actual quiz, don't worry, but congratulations to the other people that got everything right.
Right.
Now we will do the actual quiz about today's topic. So
Ya, ya.
okay, we'll start. Let's go. This is the actual quiz with the prizes.
Juara 3 dimenangkan oleh Caitlin. Juara 2-nya dimenangkan oleh Rama. Juara 1-nya adalah
Number 1.
Najwa.
Oh.
Very
Thank you,
good.
sir. Congratulations.
Show us your video. Mana nih? Jadi demikian Pak Edi, Pak Joner, juga mungkin Pak Marcel, ada Pak Rinaldi ya, Pak Ari juga, apa yang IJG coba present semasa PPKM ini, paling tidak tuh coba feeding knowledge lah ke adik-adik ini agar someday pada saat mereka turnamen juga nggak terlalu bisa tahu banyak lah apa yang harus mereka lakukan pada saat di lapangan. Wow, ada Najwa, Rama, Kathleen, Nicholas, dan Cynthia ya. Very good. Thank you semua adik-adik. Kita tunggu keputusan pemerintah tur next-nya seperti apa nih. Paling nggak dalam masa PPKM ini kita coba dapat pengetahuan sebanyak-banyaknya tentang rule of golf.